Hello, my name is Trey McGinn, and this is an analysis of how to record reverse directed velocities in the flume experiment videos for Brigham Young University. This is mainly for the research assistants and anyone else who wanted to help. So we're going to go ahead in this video and talk about how we analyze video, where to import it into, and how to record everything. So, right now, this is GoPro Studio. I've gone ahead and uploaded it and onto all the computers that are available for the research assistants. So you start it. Here's my icon. I went ahead and started it prior to this. And all of the research assistants will have availability to all the videos that they need. So I just have all mine on my drive right now. This is where they all are. And when it goes by headwater, and I'm doing this simulation, so headwater 1.15p, tailwater 0.79p. They're broken up into 3 clips, so normally to distinguish which one came first, you just go by the time. So this one's at 7 p.m., 7:04, 7 p.m., date modified. So I've gone ahead and uploaded the first clip into here. They're all the same simulation, just the Go program. I couldn't do it all in one clip, so they had to break it up into 3. So I went and uploaded it. This is the beginning of the video of me setting it up. At the beginning of every video, you'll see someone centering it. And eventually, you will see someone put a sign. I will get to it in this video. There it is. With the headwater and tailwater simulation, just to make sure that this is the right simulation that you need to do. So let me break down what's going on right here. This right here is the grid that we'll be analyzing all the beads from. Flow, and this is the dam. Flow is going over the dam, down the flume in this direction, following the mouse. Sorry, the cursor of my mouse. And we'll see in just a little bit some beads flowing over. I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead and get to that. Alright, there. So we see some beads flowing over, and they're flowing back to the dam, as you can see on the surface of the jump. And that's what we want to record throughout this video. And you record it in this Excel spreadsheet. Every one of you will have access to it. I'll most likely just give each RA one video and one spreadsheet too, so they don't have to worry about getting a bunch of them done, and it'll be less confusing that way. This is my spreadsheet, has all the simulations, so I went and go to headwater 1.15p, tailwater 0.79p. This is what it will look like. You will only need to input in these blank areas. That's the only time you'll ever need to input data. So we're going to go ahead and do an example of tracking a bead and inputting the coordinates and all the information for it. So normally I like to do this section by section. I'll just focus on this side, and then I'll focus like right here, and then just move my way over. And I'll just do that throughout the entire video. So, just to start off with some basics, the point of origin is right here. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. Positive this way, positive this way. And each little grid right here, each little tick, each little block is 0.1 feet. So, this is 0.1 feet on the x-section. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 0.4 in the x direction. On the y direction, they're kind of marked. Sometimes you might have to maximize it in order to see it. So there's 2 feet right there. There's 3.2 feet right there. So we're going to go ahead and just do an example really quick. I'm recording these backward velocities. And right here is where I want to demonstrate it. So you're looking, and I'm going to focus right here on this section. And I see a bead right here. okay, it's starting to go back up. And I'm going to want to track that bead. So I see that's going back up, so I'm going to want to go back to where it started. And you just have to play around right here with the stop and go. If you go and click on the forward button, it'll go forward by 1 frame. As you can see, this is frames, seconds, minutes, hours. We won't be using hours. And then if I push back, for some reason it will skip like 5 frames and it won't display what's really the frame that's going on, so you gotta play again really quick. I don't really know why GoPro Studio does that. So click back. Okay, so I've tracked the bead and it starts going back up right about, it's right about there. It's right about there. You see that it starts going up. So we're going to stop it and we're going to look at our frame. It started going up about 2 or 3 frames before. So we're going to go into here. So segment means which clip it is, so it's the first clip. And these are arranged where we want about, okay, so this is the starting position, x1, y1, and the frame that's associated with it. This is the ending position, x2, y2. So we want x1, y1 to be where it starts going back up the jump, so when it starts going back towards the dam. And then x2, y2 is the final position where it stops for at least about 5 frames, or it starts going forward again, or it gets submerged. So, right here, these are arranged where we want the starting position to be about 5 per, I don't know why I did that. We want it to be about 5 starting positions per grid cell, per on the y-axis. So this is about 1.975. You can see on the y-axis, so 1.9 down, it's about 1.975 on the y-axis. Let's go down to that. This is our first one along that, so I'm going to input the clip, which is 1. It's the first clip. And then I'm going to go back and see, it's about 7:29:55 was the minutes, seconds, and frame. And then we need the x direction. So it's about 1.975 on the y. This is about 0.6. So these black markers, 0.1, 0.6, 0.7, 0.75, 0.775. You only go in quarters along in between cells. If you go any finer than that, then life just gets more complicated. So we're at 0.775 and 1.975. So that's our starting position and the starting frame. So we go back and we're going to track this bead frame by frame until it stops for more than 5 frames, like it just sits there and stalls and doesn't move, and then or until it hits the nape and goes back under. So when it starts going forward or when it just stops. So we can either go frame by frame and just sit there and watch it, or if you want to be a little more of a risk taker, you can just go like this and make it go faster. So we know, or I've seen it before, I know it stops right about here on the nape. So I'm going to track it along here. Alright, so you see it just went forward right there on that last frame. So not this frame, but the last frame it went forward. So I'm going to mark that x and y direction as x1, there's x2, y2. So this is 0.1, so about 0.075, because this is 0.1 on the x, 0.075 and 2, this is 2.5, and we want to go by the centroid of the bead when we're tracking these beads. So this is about 2.075 on the y and 0.075 on the x. So we go into our spreadsheet, 0.075, 2.075, and we see 731. Now it's stopped. It's backward progression on the 18th frame, not the 19th frame. It started going forward. So 731.18. Okay, so and these formulas are used to get a final final velocity count, measurement of its velocity for that particular bead within the jump. And I'll go ahead and save that recorded spreadsheet. That's basically how you do it, and you do that for 5 beads that started at 1.7, 5 beads that started at 1.8, 5 beads that started at 1.9, all the way across the grid for all the length of the video. Now, keep in mind that it's not perfect. So, like for 0.1 on this simulation, you can't really get a grid or can get a bead on that because it's looking like it's on the wall. So just do the best you can. And if you can't find 5 beads per initial y coordinate, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can on this. I trust you as a research assistant and understand that the video is not perfect and that it's hard to tell sometimes with all this turbulence and all the water collected on here. Just do the best you can. If you have any questions, contact me. My name is Tram again. I am leading this graduate research.